guys, thanks for joining us for day 2 of Week of Prayer. We're glad to have you back.
If you go check out down low in the comments, you can see the link for today's Kahoot.
See you.
Standing here in your presence, in a grace so relentless, I am won by perfect love, wrapped within arms of heaven, in a peace that lasts forever, sinking deep in mercy. See, I'm wide awake, drawing close, stirred by grace, and all my heart is yours. All fear removed, I breathe you in, I lean into your love. Oh, your love. When I'm lost, you pursue me. With my head, see your glory, Lord of all. So beautiful. Here in you, I find my shelter, captivated by your splendor of your face. My secret place, I'm wide awake, drawing close, stirred by grace, and all my heart is yours. A fear removed, I breathe you in, I lean into your love. Oh, your love. Your love so deep, it's washing over me. Your face is all I seek. You are my everything. Jesus Christ, you are my one desire. Lord, hear my only cry, to know you all my life. Love so deep, it's washing over me. Your face is all I see. They're my everything. Jesus Christ, you are my one desire. Lord, my only cry, to know you all my life. It's washing over me. Your face is all I see. You are my everything. I'm wide awake, drawing close, stirred by grace, and all my heart is yours. All fear removed, I breathe you in, I lean into your love. Oh, your love.
Record. Okay, so for people that don't know you, could you tell us a little about you and about what you do?
Sure. My name is Jeffrey Logan. I'm a firefighter paramedic for one of our local agencies, third largest agency in the country. I'm a fireman and a paramedic, so I run a fire engine, 3-person company. We run probably 90% medical aids, structure fires, the rest 10% with vehicle fires, truck fires, trash can fires, the rest of the kind of fires, vegetation fires. But most of it's medical aids. I take care of all the medical gear and all the equipment on the engine. I also take care of all the cleaning in the station, towels, the wash and dry, all the laundry. I mop and dust the bays, the engine, do the inside of the station, bathrooms. That's also part of my job. I work 3 days on. So right now my schedule is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I go back on duty tomorrow. Then I have Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday off, back on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Unless I get forced on duty or I have a training day. So my week gets shortened.
Wow. Another question, how have you impacted others during this time? Or how do you feel that you have impacted others?
Well, obviously, I'm taking care of people who are very sick. A lot of people, I can tell, they have not been tested yet, but I can tell that's where they're going, is to be tested and will be tested positive. I think all of us paramedics and all of us engine companies are running on people who either have already tested positive and now somebody else in the family is probably going to test positive, or they're sick. It's almost always respiratory. They always have an underlying condition like COPD, emphysema. So I'm trying to take good care of even my COVID positive patients. I think I've raised awareness in our crew and stuff to watch out for, making sure we're deconning after every potential COVID call or anything that seems suspicious. We're deconning all our gear at the scene and not getting in the fire engine, not taking it back to the station, and definitely not taking it into the station.
Wow, that's crazy. What have you found? That sounds like a lot of stuff that's stressful. What have you found to help you cope with that and cope with all the stresses and all of the social distancing?
I haven't had a lot of downtime. Right now is spring, so I'm busy here at home. I have all kinds of extra stuff I have to do. So I think I have a crew that is really great. We laugh and take care of each other. That's the most important. When I work with the other crews or someone I'm familiar with, we don't have nearly as much fun, and I'm definitely more stressed. But when I'm with my crew, there's definitely less stress. We take it as we have a job to do, and we'll do it to the best of our abilities, even though I know we have a risk. Being the profession that we have all kinds of other risks along with an infectious disease. So we're heads up, we're watching each other. But here at home, I'm too busy to take. I mean, we did quite a bit of precautions when it first happened. The kids haven't really been out of the house for a month and a half. So I don't have to worry about that. I know that Laura's protecting herself at work. I'm definitely protecting myself at work. So I don't bring it home to my family here. One of the things I've done is put a TV in the trailer, and I've stayed in the trailer. If I think there's a potential for an infection, I may be asymptomatic. I won't know that I have it for a couple of days. So I'll quarantine myself to the trailer, stay there until I don't have any symptoms, and I'm pretty sure I'm good, then I'll come out. So I put a Nintendo Switch in there, so I play Switch and study.
Wow.
What does your typical day look like in like this current situation?
So I think our department got called by Washington, D.C., and they were like, how come nobody is sick at your department? And they said, is it just a lack of of information. And my EMS chief is like, no. He said, we put implementations early on that social distance us, plus we had all PPEs. I wear an N95 mask, I wear gloves, I have a gown, I have a face shield if I need one. So we've been on the front. We're the third largest department in the country, and we have had nobody sick, nobody gone home. Not one person in our whole department has been sick.
It's crazy.
Amazing.
But for me, my normal day is, I come on duty, like tomorrow I'll come on duty. I'll do an engine checkout, make sure that all my gear is good, all my EMS gear is good. And then throughout my checkout, we'll be running calls. I have to put things on hold, come back, do checkout. Then I have to run all the equipment on the engine, and then usually it's lunchtime. Then it's whatever. I have quite a bit of stuff that I have to do at the station. And then all the way till I get to the end of the gym, work out for an hour, and then they eat dinner. I've only ate lunch, and then I'll stop working around 6, sometimes 8, sometimes 9. Get ready for bed.
How, with all this craziness, how are you able to keep a positive mindset or keep yourself still going through all of it?
I think it's been hard. I think for sure my job is stressful enough. I try not to bring it home. And I have quarantined myself outside as much as possible. Working outside, that really relieves a lot of stress. I should be mountain biking. I've been planning on it and I haven't yet. That also has always been a great stress relief for me. As far as a positive outlook, I think Laura's pretty positive. We try to get out and walk at least twice a week, if not 3 times a week. That keeps us at least communicating. We won't get to see each other when I'm at work. Yeah.
Nice. Do you have any ideas or things that us high schoolers could do to help out in this time? Like just things to keep us busy or things that we can help with?
Obviously, there's lots of things that could be done. The last thing you guys want to do is, I know everybody's getting antsy and they want to start being with friends, getting back together. I'm going to caution all of you guys. This is not over. My EMS chief sends out directives every single week. And the last one, we have a phone conversation twice a week with him and our staff, the big staff for Riverside. And I want to caution you guys, he says that we will not be through this in 2020. We're going to go way into 2021 before this is finally starting to get a handle on this. It's definitely going to come back. It's not going away this summer. They're saying that the heat is not really going to put a damper on it like they were expecting. People are still getting sick, still dying. There are still new cases. So you guys need to be cautious. Continue to be vigilant and be cautious because you don't want to bring it home to your family. All of your families are old enough to be in that category that it could be fatal, or they could really get sick and end up in the ICU and intubated. You don't want that. But as far as what you guys can do, I think with your families, you can pay attention to people, maybe contact with the church, find out people who are actually really in need of food. I think that's the one thing that some people are very short on. They don't have money because they're not working, so they don't have enough food. Paying attention to who doesn't have food and putting together some stuff for them and just leaving it on the doorstep.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time.
You're
Yeah, thank you. And you have so many great perspectives and insights that we aren't exposed to. So thank you.
And thank you for what you're doing on the front lines. Oh,
Oh
sorry.
yeah,
Sure.
definitely.
I don't feel like I'm doing anything. I'm not really in danger like the doctors and nurses are.
Well, you're still doing a lot, so thank you.
Is there any like last thing that you'd like to leave high school students with?
Try to stay positive through this. This will end eventually, and you guys will all get back together.
All right. So, for people that don't know you, could you please tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Yeah, I'm Darren, and I'm a pastor, and really looking forward to pastoring at Cal Mesa Church. I grew up there, went to Mesa Grande Academy from first grade to eighth grade or ninth grade, and had a lot of fun, played sports, and have a lot of good memories from there. But I've lived in Ohio since 2010, and I have a beautiful, wonderful, awesome wife. Beamy is her name. That's short for Sunbeam. That's her nickname that she goes by. And then we have two awesome, beautiful daughters, Aria and Amelia. And in addition to sports, I love music. I play guitar, and those are probably the big things.
That's so cool. So how do you think this current situation has impacted your spiritual life?
Good question. In some ways, it's given me more time to spend in devotion with God. And I don't know about you both, but sometimes I'm good at making excuses. Like I'll say, Lord, if I just had more time, or if I just had, less things to do, then I would spend more time with you, or that kind of thing. And some of those excuses were taken away, and I found myself still like having a hard time sometimes keeping consistent devotion time. But I think in general, that has been, I think I've had more time to pray and reflect with God. I think I've also really had more time to think about what's really important in life, which is my relationship with Him, and how I am as a father and a husband, and as a disciple of Christ, really prioritize that. I think it's helped me prioritize what's really important, and spiritual life is certainly one of those things. And then as a pastor, it has also been really busy, but also been really fulfilling, because we've seen a lot of people connect more purposefully now, reaching out to people maybe like we hadn't before, and seeing us reach out into the community in certain ways. We're being creative by we've been doing takeout meals at our church for the community, which has been really cool. So, when you're active, at least for me, when you're active and doing something that helps others, it helps me to feel like I'm living a spiritual life that matters. I think in general it's been good, but it certainly has been stressful at times as well.
That's really beautiful. You had some really good insights there. I know you kind of just touched on this a little bit, but how have you impacted others during this time?
Yeah, so that our community meals has been a big one. I think just trying to be consistent in reaching out to people. In our neighborhood where we live, we know our neighbors pretty well, but I think over the past month, I've gotten to know them a lot better. And we've had some really deep conversations, and that we've never really had before, which has been pretty cool. And also, all of our neighborhood seems to be like, hey, if you need anything, we can, we're here to help. And some of the older folks in our neighborhood, we've offered to get them groceries, or, pharmacy runs, that kind of thing. So I think maybe being intentional about seeing what people need. I think I'm doing that more now than I used to, which has been kind of cool. But yeah, our church has been doing some things like the meals. We've also been doing food drives to support our local food bank.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool. The next question is, what have you found to help you cope with social distancing?
That there's been a lot of really great memes like lately because of this. There was one meme I saw where somebody had a mask on, and it wasn't for going out, but it was to prevent them from eating at home. That's kind of like me right now. I'm like just comfort food all the time. We're snacking. I don't know.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, you're just at home. So that's not really a very positive one, but I have been enjoying lots of food at home. And it's also with the girls, you bake more, like we're always making pancakes or cookies or something, which is fun. So that's been one way we've coped. I think also just enjoying time with family. We have not probably had as good a weather as you all out in California, but this last week, like it's supposed to snow this weekend again in Ohio. But this last week it was like 70 degrees and really like a lot of sun. So hiking, we get outside and do that kind of thing. There's a nature park close by our house, like half a mile from our house. And so we'll go there, in the afternoons, and that's been fun to do that with the family. Also, the girls, there's a really great bike trail that runs through several towns, and we'll get them out there on the bike trail and stuff.
So fun. Well, you'll probably miss the snow some once you come out here, but
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, there's snow in California, but
yeah, you have to drive
not
to
like
it though.
here.
Mhm.
Right.
How has this whole quarantine situation and this whole experience impacted your mental health?
Well, I did mention, it's been stressful sometimes because it feels like work has gotten busier. And then trying to balance, my wife is working and then the girls are still doing homeschool. Like, I really have such a bigger appreciation for teachers than I used to. I always appreciated them, but man, just trying to help the girls get through all of their assignments and teach them stuff, like it takes a lot of time and effort. So I'd say, like, mentally it has been draining sometimes and stressful. But like I said, it's balanced with those times we get to go outside and whether we're riding bikes with the girls, doing hikes, there has been a lot of extra time with our family that has been a real blessing. And that's certainly helped with any kind of mental fatigue that I've had.
Definitely. So what are some things high schoolers can do to help out during this time?
That's a good question. Well, I think high schoolers are really great at connecting with not just each other, but I would encourage high schoolers to connect with those who are in a generation that's older than they are. You guys are great with technology, social media. This could be a great time to talk to your grandparents or great grandparents if they have never Zoomed before or FaceTime before, that kind of thing. There's a lot of ways in which you can help people stay connected. You guys can give a lot of tutorials to people who maybe this is kind of new for them or different for them. So I think there's a lot of knowledge that you have and resources you have to bless, especially the older generations, and to bring them a lot of comfort and company. A lot of the older folks are really lonely right now, I think. And so that would be a good way. In addition to that, staying connected, I guess if there is opportunities, it's different because in California, there's different restrictions than there are here in Ohio. So I'm not quite sure what you're all allowed to do, but like what you're doing right now is really awesome. This idea of providing a week of prayer for the student body. I think that's awesome to be able to make videos and put content out there that is encouraging and uplifting. I would encourage you to keep doing that. That would be great.
Thank you so much. Is there any last thing you want to say to high school students just as a closing?
Hang in there. You guys are amazing. And those of you who are seniors, I know Joy, I heard you were a senior. I feel so bad that you're not going to get to have your traditional graduation experience, but make the best of it. And just want to encourage you guys to continue to, most of all, stay close to the Lord. And I think God's presence is what has sustained me most of all through this time. And I would encourage you to lean on his presence also.
Oh, thank you.
My favorite Bible verse is Joshua 1:9, which says, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you." Hello, guys. Thanks for joining us. Yes, guys, thanks for playing Kahoot. Check out who won in the comments down below. Woohoo! We'll see you guys tomorrow on Friday at 1. Bye.